Within the first 90 seconds of this video, I'm going to show you one simple trick that will make you more money in crypto, specifically by reducing the amount of times that you buy your favorite altcoins and then immediately watch the price tank. And if I fail in my endeavors, then you can leave me the letters TAT in the comment section standing for Tim's a Turd. Ready? Let's go. This is the Bitcoin 4-hour chart zoomed out going roughly back to January 2021 for the new year. The pink arrow here aligns with the pink arrow here. There are also circles. There are more arrows than circles. So this circle aligns with this circle down here. This is the RSI down here on the chart. This is obviously price. Okay, so this pink arrow aligns with this pink arrow. Are you ready? Okay, so the pink arrows on, or the arrows on top mean relative to this drop, this was the best time to buy, and the pink arrow aligns with what RSI was doing. You see the pattern here? The arrows mean the best time to buy. The 4-hour RSI made a higher low. So this was the lowest low, not the best time to buy. Best time to buy, higher low on the 4-hour. Best time to buy here, higher low on the 4-hour. The circle means the best time to buy within that relative dip actually was not a higher low, but now you can see the ratio. You have a much better chance of buying your altcoins during a dip if you simply wait for a higher low on the 4-hour. So what is currently happening right now? Look at the 4-hour RSI. Let me zoom in. Is there a higher low? No, there isn't. So statistically, you're making a bad bet if you are going all in on your crypto on this dip right now, right? There we go. 90 seconds. Booyah. I actually did it. It took me about 10 takes to do that. All right, there we go. But seriously, I mean, look at this. And, you know, hey, Tim, I have a question. Okay. What's your question? Does it also work on other altcoins? Oh, that's honestly, you know what? I should have prepared this video better and perhaps made, you know, the same type of thing on probably the most popular altcoin in the world. Well, I'll be damned. It's already there. Snap. Okay, check it out. The crypto gods are with me today. I'm sorry for the religious reference if that offends anybody. I didn't mean to offend anybody. All right, so let's take a look here. All right, so same concept. So the circles mean that relative in this regional dip, the best time to buy, it actually did form. There was no higher low on the 4-hour chart, but you could simply see the ratio. So see how this... So this low, so it was the ultimate low, and it actually made a double, two higher lows on the 4-hour chart, right? Here, this big wick down, even though it was an aggressive sell-off, so let's zoom in. So that's the purple one, right? So you would think that with that aggressive selling at the 4-hour RSI would have actually gone lower, but no, indeed it did not. It relates, so that big wick down was this higher low right here. You just had to wait. I mean, how much patience would that take? May 19th at 1200 hours. Less than 3 days. It took 2.5 days. So per my rule, that 4-hour higher lows on price typically take 2 to 4 days. Well, also, if price doesn't make a higher low, but the best time to buy will be a kind of trying to catch a knife with the first higher low on 4-hour RSI, right? That 4-hour low or higher low on RSI on the 4-hour chart also takes about 2 to 4 days, right? So let's zoom out here and just look at the ratio. So actually Ethereum does have a higher low right now, but Bitcoin doesn't. And I just gave my community an alert saying, hey, Ethereum's behaving totally differently than Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's tanking and Ethereum is holding strong. And I actually missed that Ethereum has a higher low and Bitcoin doesn't. But I said, no, it looks like Ethereum is holding this while Bitcoin is tanking down to 55. I think that could end up being a pretty good pickup in which, you know, whales might be suppressing Bitcoin specifically more than what is natural. And their algos that they're running simply aren't dealing with Ethereum. The price of Ethereum is not being managed to that same degree, or there are just way too many buyers. So even if algos were trying to manage price and bring it down just like they were Bitcoin, there were too many buyers, which means, you know, if you were somebody trying to suppress price and you see that there's way too much buy pressure for your algos to work, what are you going to do? You're going to turn off the algos, right? And let the market rip the way it's going to rip. So I let my community know late last night, actually, I think it was midnight my time, New York time, like, hey, like right when I saw Ethereum bouncing really hard here, but Bitcoin diving from 57 down, like starting to tank down below 57. I said, I think this is going to get close to 55.1 somewhere, and actually only got to 55.5. But when it does do that, I think that's going to be a good time to attempt to get in. And even though I'm breaking the rule on the 4-hour higher low on Bitcoin with that suggestion to my community, it just looks like a good bounce point for Ethereum for the attempt to try to get into the near the ultimate low. But my whole community knows to be very careful with the idea that Ethereum might come up, make a lower high, and then head lower, right? So we will be on watch with that, and so should you. So using this information when you're not for sure if it's an ultimate low, but it actually could end up being the ultimate low, you get a bounce point, right? And so what I want to show you next is very important. How do you utilize this information even farther? So when things get a bounce, right, and you think it was the ultimate low, what do you need to look for to say, hey, price is slowing down? Is it gonna form a higher low or a lower low? So that's really how you finely tune the dials on buying crypto at a good dip, right? So that's what I'm going to show you next. So I really want you to watch this next part, because knowing half of this trick without the other half, it is useful, and it's not completely useless, but it is far from optimized. So you make sure you watch this next part. But before you do, I need you to flip your phone or get flipped off. Hey, Tim, what does that mean? That means literally flip your phone vertically, hit the like button, and you know what's going to help me out even more? If you leave me a quick comment, even if it's a simple period without the tampon, or you yell your favorite type of animals, like, I love turtles or ants. Hey, Tim, ants aren't an animal. Actually, yeah, they are, and they are my favorite. Actually, they are my favorite animal. You should use Google before you leave a comment like that, because I know those comments are coming. Insects are animals. I'm ranting about insects, animals on a Bitcoin video. Anyway, hopefully you're finding these useful, new viewers so far. So if you are, and you're new to this channel, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Here's why you should hit that bell, because this is time-sensitive information oftentimes, right? So help me help you, hit that bell, because I'm going to give you information that hopefully helps you walk through a more profitable crypto journey. We're in this together. Smash that bell. All right, let's dive back in. I could have sworn that ants aren't animals. Insects are bugs. Yeah, bugs are animals, and ants are freaking cool as hell. Ants are... this might be a factual statement. Ants are smarter than humans in situations where they are tightly packed together. Like traffic, for example, moments like that. I really think that's an accurate statement. But anyway, that's why I think they're so cool, because it's almost like a Portuguese man of war. That is not a jellyfish. It's actually a set of different animals all living in a colony that essentially creates one animal, and that's kind of what ants do too. Like, the colony of ants is technically kind of like a man of war. It's its own animal, the colony itself, right? So anyway, hey Deb, could you get back onto Bitcoin? Stop talking about ants. All right, let's do it. Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin. All right, so now this next part here. This next part is very, very, very important. So when you think you have a bounce, right? Okay. And how do you know when to start looking for weakness or a turnaround point where you say, lower high, or just a high lower than the ultimate high, and oh crap, it might make a lower low. Wait, like, when should you start looking for that? Typically my go-to, it's very simple. It's just the 10 EMA. So what you can do is go to the 4-hour chart, or maybe even the 1-hour chart. But 1 hour, that's not typically a good bounce. A bounce will go well over the 1 hour 10 EMA. So I would start with the 4-hour 10 EMA, and all you do is draw it in. And there are some situations where you would use the 1 hour stuff, like a 1 hour 200 EMA. But right now, just to keep things simple, I'm going to use the 4 hour. So it's already over the 4 hour, but I still want you to draw it in, because if a 4-hour candle closes back below, what do you think that means? That means it's time to either form a higher low, or you're going to make a lower low. And that's the time to start getting defensive, right? To start putting your guard up. Okay. So draw that in, right? Now go to the daily. And honestly, you can take off price. See where my cursor is? Hit that eyeball, kablam. All right. And if you want to get really fancy, you can go to the 1 hour and put on the 200 EMA. That's another common point. And you could do this on every single bounce, on every single asset, whether it's the price of gold, oil, black market testicles, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. All right. So now that they're drawn in, I'm taking off my EMAs. I can, if you want to be a crackhead looking at the smaller time frames, that's fine. But this is when you can identify weakness from your bounce. So do we have a higher low on Ethereum? Yes, we do. So higher low on the 4-hour chart. So I'm on Ethereum right now, right? So I'm not talking about Bitcoin, I guess. I think I'm talking about Ethereum, right? I'm on the Ethereum chart. However, you can expect to be on your guard sometime when Ethereum is above this line or getting to these lines. Somewhere in this area is where you can expect weakness to form, where you have threat of, moving immediately back to the downside. And as that downside moves, you should be on a watch for using one of these EMAs that it gets over as support on a candle closure from that time frame. So since this line that I drew in, maybe I should label it, it's the 4-hour 10 EMA. If a 4-hour candle closes below there, not a 1 hour, but if a 4-hour candle closes back below the 4-hour 10 EMA, that means the chance of a lower low happening, in which you get a second higher high on RSI. So sometimes it is the second high. So I don't know if you saw, but a couple of those arrows, it wasn't the first higher high that got the ultimate, kind of low and or best bounce point, right? Or the best time to buy. It was the second higher low sometimes. So this is what you're putting your guard up against. Hopefully I'm making sense, right? Okay. So when you get a bounce, it could come back down and do this and make yet another higher low. So a third strike of bullish divergence. But a lot of times it is only one higher low in the 4-hour chart, right? So if the 4-hour candle, so if you see it come down here, and you say, oh no, right? Well, not necessarily, because I'm on the 15-minute chart. You go to the 4-hour chart. Is that candle closed? No, it's still open. It's got 3 hours left. Okay, chill the frick out. But the power of using this on drawing this in and using the smaller time frame, just like I did on Trias, it worked out perfectly. Just like in my video yesterday, it worked out absolutely perfectly on Bitcoin. I said the 55 EMA. Gosh, I should have had that video ready for you. Actually, I probably will pull that up here. But what I said very specifically in that video is draw in the 55 EMA. Daily 55 EMA, where are you? There it is. And so I made the video right here yesterday. If you don't believe me, you can go to this video that I'm going to link right here, and you can watch that part. It's coming up right now. Go ahead and click it, and it's exactly what I said. So I made that video right here, and I said, if price tanks more, I said, this is, I said, it has an extremely high probability of looking exactly like this. And I said, it'll come up, hit there, use this as resistance. And I even made 2 hits. I even drew it like this. I said, it's going to go here and here. You're going to close a 1-hour candle here, and then it's going to fly down. And I said, it has an extremely high probability of happening. And look what happened. Let's go to the 1-hour chart. It actually did the exact formation I did. It was kind of weird. So you got a 1-hour candle closure, and it accelerated to the downside. So technically, it would have been nicer. It would have been more accurate had this one closed below, then acceleration. So technically, acceleration did happen after the rejection. Didn't quite get a close below. I guess my line might have been a little off or whatever. But so I guess that call wasn't absolutely perfect. But we're talking about 1-hour candles. Like your calls on 1-hour candles can't be perfect. But still, you can't find anybody else on the entire internet who said that same thing and gave you exactly what to look for in that way. There's not a single person out there who said, okay, it just hit the weekly 10, which is this line. If it tanks, it's going to look like this on the 55 very specifically, then accelerate to the downside. If it happens, that's what it'll look like. You can't find anybody. You can't. And if you do, let me know in the comment section. I would love to see that video because I bet it doesn't exist, right? So I'm not saying that to say, oh, my calls are amazing. No, some of my calls suck, right? Like some of them are totally off. But the whole point is, I'm here to try to give you very simple things to look at. And I even begged people, draw the blue line in, draw the red line in, and draw the 3 things in your chart, because this is what's going to happen. I even said it like 3 times, please draw these lines, please draw these lines. This is what you're looking for. Don't think you're buying the most amazing dip yet, because it's probably it could go lower, and this is what it looks like, right? So now in this video, what I'm saying is, yes, Ethereum has a 4-hour higher low, but Bitcoin doesn't. So especially people out there gambling, I'm trying to help you with something very, very simple. with the idea that this might not be the ultimate low. It could go quite a bit farther down, like 50K. It could easily happen. I'm telling you. But the thing that you're going to look out for very specifically, even though I'm doing this on the Ethereum chart, you know, more technically, but going to the Ethereum chart, is you draw in the 4-hour 10 EMA, you draw in the daily 10 EMA, and you draw in the 1-hour 200 EMA. And this is when price will likely start turning back around, and you should start looking for either a higher low start to form over the next day and a half or 2 or 3, or a lower low. But either way, you should have your guard up, because as a lower high is forming, it is in that moment, it's indistinguishable from a lower low. You simply can't tell. You can't. Now, can you have the probabilities with you, like the force be with you if you're a Jedi or whatever? Yes, especially if you watch my videos, the force is with you. But you can know probabilities, but you can't know for sure. It is indistinguishable, although based on things like the 4-hour RSI forming a higher low on Ethereum, on the Ethereum chart specifically, you do have a higher chance of a higher low forming now that you have that one strike of bullish divergence on the 4-hour, but we don't have it on Bitcoin. So the market is kind of, you know, these two assets are disagreeing just a little bit. But this is what you're going to look out for. I'm trying to help folks here, right? So, and I'm helping in a way that tends to work out like pretty close to how I said it. So hopefully, you know, you find this information pretty helpful. And I'm serious this time, once again, like on Bitcoin, draw in these and then go to the like the 1-hour chart and start looking for weakness around these levels. It doesn't have to hit this perfectly. It can find weakness between, you know, these lines, right? Which could be right now. So if you, for example, if you draw these same lines on Bitcoin, Bitcoin might come up halfway, start heading below here, right? So you can go to the 15-minute chart. And if you see on the 15-minute chart with the 4-hour 10 EMA, it fails this, use it as resistance, right? But the candle hasn't closed yet. You still know to put your guard up, because a lower low might be in store, or retesting these exact lows, right? And if you're in a long position that's barely in profit and you start seeing this, you know, like a leverage long, when this happens, well, you might want to get the hell out of it and look to re-enter when it retags the lows or makes a lower low. So this is like a very, very simple trick. And the reason why the beginning of the video was so important with these arrows and the circles is because those arrows and circles allow you to understand the probabilities of what will happen as the weakness, where you know on those EMAs that the weakness is going to start to form. It gives you a base set of probabilities of, okay, is a higher low going to form? Like how heavy should my guard be up, right? So that is what this video is all about, and I really hope you've found it helpful. And for new viewers, the video that's popping up here is going to help make you more money in crypto. And for returning viewers, this video popping up here will help you make more money in crypto. So make sure you check that out. Returning viewers, this one. New viewers, this one. You should go watch that next. And before you get out of here, smash that like button. Make sure the bell is hit. Make sure you've left me a comment. Leave me TAT for Tim's the Turd if I didn't succeed in my goal within the first 90 seconds of the video. And y'all just got Timified.